So we are at the beautiful Mount Hiei, which is completely free to see. It's not even a technical like world historical site, but if you find the park where it's located,
which I'm not telling you the name at all, ever.
It's not true. It's not true. And here we are for the next installment of Off the Interstate, Japan. This part, we're in Kyoto. Kicking it in Kyoto, to be precise.
Because alliteration is fun.
And we're here, of course, with Teddy and Totoro, which I'm sure, like last time, he'll only be in tune for half a second before he gets bored with us.
He'll be gone.
But to kick it off in Kyoto, there's so much to see and do that we've split it up. So we're going to talk about the culture of Kyoto in this segment.
I think it goes without saying that Kyoto is probably one of the most cultured cities. There's like many stories about like an admiral in World War II who canceled the firebombing of Kyoto in World War II because of a pleasant experience he had in the honeymoon there. Just all the historical shrines and sites there, of which there are numerous. You will be walking down Shijo, seeing all these department name stores, and in the middle of Neiman Marcus, Noguchi, you'll see a small tiny shrine wherein you can deposit small 10 yen coins.
So after you bought that first, you go drop some into that shrine. It's really something to see. Like, I thought when we first got there, it reminded me so much of this movie that I like, Memoirs of a Geisha. And
which was loosely based in Kyoto.
Loosely based in Kyoto.
I want to say, yeah.
To my credit, I guess. But it's just so beautiful. It feels like you are... I mean, Okinawa, beautiful too. This is just in a different kind of way. It's like stepping back into time. It's gold flake ice cream.
Gold ice cream.
The flavor of gold is nothing.
Power.
Almost. You walk like 3 blocks and there'll be a shrine, or you'll see people frequently walking around in kimonos, which tourists can rent, by the way.
So you can totally rent them at a myriad of different places. You can also buy them. Just keep in mind there's more than involved than just the outer layer of the kimono itself. But you can wear those.
Where are you going to wear them to?
The places you can wear them are the numerous shrines of which we said that we would talk about. 3 main sites today is Kinkaku-ji, Ginkaku-ji, and of course Nijo-jo Castle, which is just a beautiful castle. One of the last, I think, feudal era or 11th century.
Yeah, not those Disney castles. This is like a man's castle, if you know what I mean.
I mean, it was a
masculine.
Definitely a shogun castle. It's got 2 moats. That's how you knew you're important and people wanted to kill you. You will be greeted with a beautiful golden temple that is also coincidentally a Pokemon stop. For those of you who take over the gym, just do it. Go Team Mystic. Here was at the
we are at Kinkaku-ji Temple, and it is pretty amazing to see. I mean, it's gold. It's like gold, and I wish I could fully capture this, but I feel like we can't. You just really have to come see it for yourself.
It's also Pokemon Temple. I mean, Pokemon Gym, just in case you want to take it over.
Oh my gosh.
And
Valor, Team Valor.
But yes, so what were some of your favorite sites of Betrayal? I mean, of this beautiful World Heritage Site?
Well, okay, to preface this, I thought it was going to be huge. I looked at pictures and I imagined it to be a massive like temple / shrine. But it's really small. I mean, considering, which is part of the reason why it probably is also so crowded. So if you're going to go, it's going to be crowded no matter what time you go. But there are probably better times to go than others if you're trying to beat a crowd. Like, I don't know how, but there'll inevitably be some school trips there.
Just always expect a crowd. You could just shoot for less crowds.
Yeah.
There will always be some random kindergarten trip there who on a Tuesday and 1 o'clock in the afternoon for some odd reason. And there, I don't know, maybe a horde of babies takes over the day. You never know. If you do get a picture with them, that'd be quite adorable to have babies and the Golden Temple. But
Yeah. So you need to check out that Golden Temple. And once you're done there, you absolutely have to get gold flaked ice cream.
So besides also being a Pokemon stop, this temple is famous for pandering gold stuff to tourists. And ultimately, I'm not gonna lie, I caved and did get Elizabeth a gold ice cream with gold flake on it, which does nothing to the taste.
I thought I could taste it. I tasted like,
I don't know,
luxury.
bougie, but
it was fun. It was fun to eat.
It's a great little treat after like that maybe quarter-mile trails that you have around, kind of wrapping around the property of Kinkaku-ji.
Yeah.
And very similarly, Ginkaku-ji, which is in a completely different area of Tokyo. They're actually not even that close, or Kyoto. They're not even close to each other. But outside, you'll see some various like really cool vendors and other things on your way up to the gold or silver temple.
Now, the Golden Temple, to wrap up on it, was it not constructed to impress like a visiting shogun?
From my understanding, it was like meant to be a very impressive show of power or other things to that. Just the golden pavilion itself, and it's not even that big. The back, at the very top, has this rooster that's located on the back of an ichiman and or 10,000 yen note. But yeah, and I think that's about the main 10,000 view foot from Ginkakuji and Kinkakuji, or gold and silver temples. But the next one was like Nijojo Castle, which was really quite a treat. It is one of the last like true remaining castles by Tokugawa Ieyasu.
It is, I mean, you walk up and you can tell this man, he was somebody people wanted to impress. and the number of moats that he had indicated how many people wanted to assassinate him, according to our tour guide.
Well, yes, and also...
Or not the tour guide, excuse me, the audio, right?
I think so. He was the first shogun, definitely first military leader. Had a huge target on his back. It was kind of interesting picturing assassins trying to scale the walls of these double moats. They're really quite tall, and we'll have some pictures of said moats. And
as we speak, I'm sure we'll pop up some pictures.
Beautiful gateway, and really one of the last, because they made primarily a lot of their buildings out of wood, and it was just, they're basically like tinder boxes. They would burn down easily. Arson was one of the most punishable crimes in Japan.
Sheesh. And you can see why while you're there. If you don't speak Japanese, there are like headsets you can buy, and there's plenty of people helping that will explain. We just kind of read the signs as we went along, and if you're following the path, this could easily be a full day trip. I mean, wouldn't you say? It was easily, we could have spent all day there, which we near about did.
I think you could spend a great portion of the day there. You can wander around. If you're there in the summer, watch out for special events. Pro tip, they might have, you might get the rare opportunity to have like a tea in their tea house area on the property, which isn't typical. Or in our case, eating and stuffing my face.
Huge.
Shaved ice.
Huge.
Here, need your castle. We just got a castle.
Of
ice cream.
This is how Japan is. Snow cones. This is the answer to snow cones. Snow cones.
As big as your face.
They're called shaved ice, but they should be called Snow Cone Mountain. Because, oh my gosh, they were delicious.
They were quite large, yes.
I'm super excited to start talking about it.
They were huge.
Okay.
Huge snow desert mountains. And those are just like kind of a broad overview of three of the main sites we saw, but we also were able to go outside of Kyoto to a beautiful ryokan, which is a traditional style Japanese inn.
I knew
that. I want some kotatsu right now.
Look at that.
I'm gonna stick my feet in it.
Some kotatsu. Do.
Oh my. Dun, dun, dun. And with an onsen in it, which is a natural hot spring, and there's a whole bunch of words detailing where you get your water from. If it's from a natural spring, it's called an onsen. If there's a bath outside, it's called a Rio Temburo. And it's really bath society, and like that whole bath society around the bath, or the social dynamic that is going to the bathhouse is one of the most interesting and fun things that I truly miss.
A must experience. You can even while you're there, while you're staying in an inn, they will serve you food, so your meal is included. The place that we stayed at will include in the description, so those of you that are interested can go. I mean, it was even more so of stepping back into that traditional Japan. We had nabe for dinner, which is kind of like a hot pot of sorts that you cook yourself. And again, very accommodating. And we actually didn't mind or didn't miss that there's no AC or heat in these Rokuons. Traditionally, some might have them, but this one did not.
This was like a very old traditional one that probably didn't leave the family at all. But it was a really great treat, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time there. It was I rank it as one of my most relaxing of just times. It's a great time, and just really welcome, opening, awesome people, and there's some shrines you can hike in the mountains and see, and it's just beautiful, scenic town. Just go to a Ryokan, and you're guaranteed to have a great time. Yeah. Well, on that beautiful note, we'll see you in our next video, where we're going to be talking about food.
Yeah.
Another alliteration sort of term.
Food and fun.
And fun with your food. And so, keep a like, subscribe, and I'll tell you more Pokestops that you should definitely steal from other disgusting teams other besides Team Mystic. So, on that beautiful note.
Team Valor all the way. Bye-bye.
Signing out from the International Manga Museum, this is David and Elizabeth. We ask you to check out our next video, Kyoto 2 Electric Boogaloo, but really about the food. Thank you all for watching. We look forward to seeing you then.
Bye!